We'll start with Michael McCall, please.
Hey Mark, how you doing today?
Michael, I'm good, thanks.
Um, you've had a short period of time to kind of look back at the game on Sunday. Looking back at that equalising goal, what's the group made of it? What were the discussions like this week at training about that, and basically how to work in the concentration levels?
Yeah, it's a very, it's the easiest way to talk about that is just to say the focus or the concentration levels, right, Michael? Because it's a play that happens and it's hard to explain. The team feels that everybody was very focused on what we had to do. We went through it. Our frustration is a very good one. Our frustration is a team that went to Seattle, get 1 point, went to Dallas and got another point, and always answering to a goal that we conceded. We were down in Seattle, we turned it to 2-1. We were down in Dallas, we turned it to 2-1. So there's a lot of positive things that we take, but our frustration is not have been able to close those games out. So what can we do when we're under pressure? The concentration was good, the decision making was bad, and I think what we could have done much better is we could have done a better job not allowing the cross to come in, because we're 2v1 in the wide area and the cross comes in. And then we could have done a better job, and Ranko is very hard on himself in the play of communicating and not going in the same ball that Andy's going towards. And that's the part where we're very frustrated with ourselves. So it's a lot to do with a bad decision in one play. And we have to be better. We have to be better. And when injury time comes, because it's been 3 times now, and we're very hard on ourselves with that, but we can't allow that to scare us, because we might be up in the score against Salt Lake tomorrow. And what's going to happen is they're going to play very long into our box. They're going to look for Krylach into our box. They're going to play 20 throw-ins into our box. We know it's coming, and we have to be ready for it and make sure that we challenge and make the plays we have to make.
The mental side of everything just now. I mean, you've talked before about the ghosts, and these things haunt you, and it's natural when the board goes up for stoppage time, the players are going to think about this. How long do you think it's going to take for the group to move on from these stoppage time things? Is it maybe a case of maybe having to even work on them mentally, like a psychology coach or something like that?
Yeah, look, we were able to make the plays that needed to be made in Seattle to finish the game. We spoke about that. Right now, our team has to prepare for 100 minutes of soccer and not 90 minutes, because in the last 2 matches, we played 15 minutes of injury time in the second half. So we have to be much more when we look at the clock and it's minute 85, it's much more than that. What we need to focus on is to try to do the right things during more than 60 minutes and not only 60 minutes. And what happens is that play happened because, I'll tell you, if you go back to the game, and this is TV time, the TV broadcast time, so you could look at it, from minute 84:14 to minute 84:40, they play 2 balls in our box long. Minute 85:10, they play another one. Minute 88:38, they play another one. Minute 92:03, they play another one. And they're sending a lot of guys into our box, inclusive one of their center backs. And this is when we decided to add another player to help deal with all that, because we weren't able to press anymore. And for me, that's the biggest thing. We need to grow in being able physically to sustain a certain pressure, to be able to get higher, so we don't give all these volumes of balls into our box, that one of them with a bad bounce, a bad luck, a bad decision could end in the back of our goal. So I think we just have to be a team that once we're up, we continue pressuring in our block. We continue having the ball possession in the right pockets and the right moments, because if we do that, we'll be able to deal with the injury time much better.
Just one last quick one from me. I'm an old fashioned football kind of guy. I like to believe the best form of defence is attack. You've touched on things there, and the ball's coming in, easing the pressure. Do you feel that the subs that you've had for these games have been able to bring an attacking element late in the game, or is that something you're maybe going to have to look at with your substitutes to get guys on there that can ease the pressure off the defence a little bit?
Yeah, we have to do it better. We have to do it better. We put in Ryan, we put in Brian White with the intention of having a little bit more pressure, because Cava physically was dying out and he was dropping and was dropping. And then what happens when our forward line drops, our midfield drops, our back line drops? And for sure that this is something that was addressed in these 2 days. The majority, I agree with you at 100%. I think that the goal happens because there's not enough pressure in front. And that's what we've addressed in the last 2 days.
Thanks, Marc. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Gemma, please.
Hi, Marc. Nice to see you.
Hey, Gemma.
I want to ask about the challenge that you face in managing the lineup with 2 guys off to national duty, and it's a pretty congested week. How does that complicate your job as a manager?
You just have to go with it. I already give my opinion about MLS games during Gold Cup competition. I don't think it's right for any club in the MLS, for any. And this is not a message towards Canada or towards the Gold Cup or towards MLS. No, it's just a message for everyone. Because then competitions lose value. You know, they lose value if MLS is being played during the Gold Cup, and then some teams in the Gold Cup, they say, let's bring only MLS players. Let's leave the European players out. If the Gold Cup's objective is eventually to sell the competition as an important competition, well, we're a little baby and we have a lot to grow, a lot. So my frustration is more towards that. It's toward it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that. And it's very frustrating. And I know it is for every club. So when this happens, this is where your depth is important. This is where a guy like Brian and Theo Bear are going to have a huge opportunity to replace a player that was in a good form for us. Evan and Thomas are going to have a great opportunity to replace Max that has been very steady for us. And then that's their opportunity to answer that they deserve also to play in this team. And that's how you manage it as a coach.
Perfect. And with another break looming after tomorrow's game, what do you want to see from your group out of tomorrow's matchup?
Get a positive result. I think we have a frustration right now that is a good one. And our frustration is also with the full scenario of the situation. Tomorrow we're playing a home game in Rio Tinto against Real Salt Lake, where the stadium's going to be full of Real Salt Lake fans, where Real Salt Lake was allowed to train in their stadium today, and we were not allowed to train here. So the only thing that's going to be home is the fans that are going to watch the game. They'll see some more of Bell sponsors around the field. That's the only thing. And I think that that's creating a frustration in all of us, that if it's channeled in the right way, we'll get out of this stadium with points, and then we could continue building in the 3 games, including Seattle, Dallas, in Salt Lake, that then's gonna maybe allow us one day to have a real run of games in our real home, and then allow us to get the points that we need towards our objective.
And touching on your real home, we're starting to see things change a little bit back here. The basketball team in the Fraser Valley announced today that they're going to have fans starting next week. Toronto FC is planning to come home on Thursday. Are you starting to feel a little bit more optimistic about the potential of coming home in August?
If I feel optimistic, yes, of course, when you see signs like that, it gives you hope. But until we don't get the green light from everybody, including BC Place and the BC authorities, until we don't cross that line, I want to focus on the facilities we have here, on playing here and doing the best we can here. But of course, that when you hear things that are happening in Montreal and Toronto and some areas of British Columbia, it gives you hope. And I was more pessimistic, I would say, a couple of weeks before. Now I'm becoming more optimistic about our return home.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Marc.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gemma. JJ, please.
Hello, Marc. How are you, sir?
I'm good, JJ, and you?
I'm all right. You look like you got as much sleep as I did last night. You're a little on the low energy side.
No, I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I just finished training, and I'm thinking a lot of things right now. At the same time, I'm answering you guys, so maybe overthinking.
Well, it's good you can multitask. That's a good quality in a coach.
I'm trying to.
So back to the whole late game theme. Looking at the numbers, I think in the last 15 minutes of games this year, you guys have given up like 5 goals, but Real Salt Lake has given up 6 in the same period of time in the game. What do you guys have to do to kind of flip the script and be the one that is putting other teams under pressure in that time?
Yeah. Look, the general comment is always lack of focus in the last minutes. And that's so general. What does that mean? I want somebody to explain to me, what does it mean? I think that you have to look at much more at what you said at the end. Because if we continue during the 90 minutes to press in the right spots, to stay away from our goal, to being able under pressure to keep possession and get out of areas of pressure, well, now we have more the ball, we're higher on the field, and we don't have to deal with so many crosses and so many throw-ins and backing off. I think our focus and our talk in the last 2 days was on the last point that you brought up. Tactically, we need to sustain during 90 minutes doing something that we believe in. Sometimes we want to win too much, or we want the point too much, that we become a team that is afraid of losing. So now we're defending everything with in our box, and we're giving territory to the opponent. Soccer is all about closing spaces, not allowing the opponent to play, and then you, when you have the ball, you being the team that is more under control. And that's the area I think we have to grow in. I think some of the goals that you mentioned were also a little, I hate to talk about that, but you go see some of the goals that were conceded there. Even this last goal against Dallas doesn't score. We scored. They don't score, so that's frustrating. If there's a goal that we're set, we're doing our job, and then they break us down. Look, of the 5 goals you spoke about, you didn't speak, but you mentioned 5, right, JJ?
Yeah.
1 was a clearance of Andy Rose on the face of Baldi. On the face of Baldi. The other one in Minnesota, we're asking the ref for a foul. The other one, it's an own goal. The other one is that if we're set and the opponent by its quality breaks us down, 1-2 overlap, cross, great header, it's not even like that. So that's the frustrating part. What we need to do is We have in the last 75 minutes to also have to make sure that the guys that come off the bench when the team is tired keep the standards high and don't lower the standards. We have to make sure that the subs come in and keep standards high. And the other thing is we need to keep playing in a way that we're able to sustain those minutes by us doing the right pressure and having the ball and not backing off. And I think that's an area of growth in our team. But again, we know that, and we speak about that, and our locker room is not disappointed or sad. We're a locker room that if we were beaten, we weren't answering the way we did in Seattle, the way we did in Dallas. We're frustrated at ourselves of not doing the plays that are needed in the right moment right now.
Right. We've talked a lot about the defending under pressure in those times, and you mentioned it there about possession. What have you seen on film in terms of like when you're defending and not being able to maintain possession to sort of play out the end of the game there? What have you seen on film in the last 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, so I'll tell you this: when that happens when we're low. You agree?
Yeah.
We're low on the field, right?
Yeah.
It's the most difficult place to have possession. The most difficult, because when you're low, the opponent is pressuring you. You're not able to come out. And then your possession needs to be, you have 11 Iniestas on the field. That's what I told the team. Then you have 11 Iniestas that come out with quality and you're out. And it's not the case. So when you're low, you have to find a way of coming out. Maybe you have to play 1 or 2 balls long that allow your block to come up, and then you could press higher on the field. And when you regain the ball higher on the field, now you could play more easy. Every time we have possession in the opponent's half is because we regain the ball higher on the field and the opponent has to back off. So that's all things that we've been speaking about in the last 2 days. Now, the thing is, we have no time to work it. Because when you get off a plane at 2:30 a.m. and then you train at 3, and now you have one session that you're still kind of recovering to play, a lot of the acquisition for the team is done through video. So we have to get through the game of Salt Lake well, and then prepare the LA Galaxy with more time and address all of these things that we're talking about.
Well, we know we won't see any Iniesta in a Whitecaps uniform, but the secondary window is opening tomorrow. Are you expecting to see some reinforcements come in the next week?
I hope so, yes. I hope so, JJ.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Marc.
Yeah, I hope, and it's a need for the team, for everybody in the team. It's a need,
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while, so hopefully this is the week that it happens.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Thank you, JJ. Marc, thank you for your time this afternoon.
No more, guys. Hey, today your questions were top, by the way. Well done. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Excellent. So we got a good collection of media here with some top questions. We'll start with Gemma and then go to JJ.
No pressure though, right? Hi, Brian. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's training been over the last few days?
It's been good. We're trying to put the Dallas game behind us, and we're looking forward to playing Salt Lake tomorrow and trying to get 3 points.
Now, you've been with the team for almost a month now. What has that experience been like over the last month for you?
Yeah, it's been a good experience adjusting to, new players, new style of play, a new atmosphere away from home. So yeah, there's been a lot of moving parts, a lot of things to get acclimated to, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it, and hopefully, I'm looking forward to seeing the product on the field.
Marc says that there's a lot of good frustration within the locker room. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think there's, we can look at the results. We're away from home, we're getting a point, but also, we're frustrated because we know we could get the full 3 in some of those instances. So, yeah, it's, a good frustration is a way to put it, because, we're not losing the game, but, we're not winning. So there's frustration there, of course.
And obviously, Cavallini won't be around for tomorrow's game. It sounds like that opens up a bit of a spot for you. What does it mean to be getting that opportunity, and what can you do with it?
Yeah, anytime you get your chance on the field, you want to, grab with both hands and not let it go. So, I'm looking forward to getting out there again, getting a start, and just doing everything I can to help the team win, whether it's, just defensive, it's scoring goals, making it hard on the defenders, doing everything I can to put the team in a good position to get the full 3 points.
Excellent. Thank you kindly, sir.
Thank you, Gemma. JJ, please.
BY, what's happening, man?
How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. We were talking with Marc about the late games and what needs to change for you guys to not concede any injury time goals and to play out the string. What are your thoughts on how the final minutes should be unfolding for you guys in a close game tactically?
Yeah, obviously we have to just sharpen up in the back, not just from the back to the front. More pressure on the defenders when they're, in their own half. So it's, longer or harder for them to get into our own box. I think in all facets of the game, we have to be stronger and keep the same energy we have, throughout the game in the last couple of minutes. Cause they start, we're under pressure a lot, and it makes it hard to defend. And, with the sheer volume of cross and stuff, obviously it makes it difficult for us to, get the ball out, be in a good position to close out the games.
Yeah. Not only defensively, but offensively, like with possession, one of the things we talked about was, being so low, it's hard to hold on to the ball or progress. As a striker, being asked to do hold up play in that situation, how difficult is it when it's, a frenetic, high pressure game like that?
Yeah, it's a difficult job for, as a forward, but it's one that we have to do, whether it's holding the ball up and drawing a foul or just, bringing guys into play so we can get up the field and get out of our own half. It's just things that we need to do at the end of the games to try and close games out or score a goal and win the game. So it's, it's part of the game that we just have to improve on.
And limited sample size, but how would you assess your body of work so far with the Whitecaps?
Yeah, I think it's, it's been tough the first couple of games, and, I'm just trying to, continue to get better, get acclimated with the style of play of the players, and, hopefully start, scoring more goals.
What specifically do you think has been tough?
Yeah, I think my hold up play could be a bit better. I think just being more dangerous in the box could be, better. Just, I'm hard on myself in all aspects of the game. Sometimes it's a little too hard, but I think it's something that's helped me get to this point. And, I look at everything I do throughout the game to try and improve on and be better for the next one.
Excellent. Appreciate it, sir. Good luck tomorrow. Hopefully you guys come out with 3 points this time.
Thanks.
Thank you, JJ. Joshua, please.
Hi, Brian. Hope you're well. I just had a question. Marc mentioned you guys got in on 2:30 a.m. on Monday morning. Obviously, training day today, back at it tomorrow. How difficult is the travel situation and schedule for the team?
Yeah, especially when games are so close together and you have to travel from Dallas and get back, like you said, really early in the morning, and then you have to turn around and prepare for a game Wednesday. It's not easy, but that's the way that is. We just have to get the right nutrition, get the right rest, and just be prepared for the game tomorrow.
And you mentioned too that you want to work on your hold up play a little bit more. Have you been working with Casado and Dahome a bit just to try and find more of a linkage between the three of you up front when you're playing there?
Yeah, anytime in practice, we try and pick up new things on how they want to play, what they look for. So just getting reps in practice, I think, helps a lot.
Awesome, Brian. Thanks for your time and safe travel. Or well, I guess not traveling. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joshua. Brian, good luck tomorrow. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Take care, everyone.